Hi everybody, welcome to Jenkins Boat Works. I am Chuck Jenkins. This is episode number 1 on building the Somme Sound 12.5. This is a sailboat similar to the Haven, similar to that half hull that we've got back up on the wall. Today we're going to take a look at our plans that we got in the mail last week. I had not had an opportunity to get them out. So this is going to be kind of a preview of what we're getting ourselves into. The plans are very detailed, I'm happy to see, and at the same time, I'm not sure I understand everything that I'm looking at. But we'll figure it out, and you can join us on this journey. Toby. My golden retriever out there is losing his mind. If you are new to the channel and you've never seen Toby before, well, I'm sure he'll show up in some videos. If you do happen to be new, consider subscribing, and when you subscribe, click the little bell. This is going to be a long, ongoing project with many episodes, lots of video, lots of content. We hope to be able to show most of the different process of how we build this boat. So if you'd like to join us on the journey, do subscribe, click the bell, and let's jump in here and take a look at these plans. So we'll have some clips of the actual plans here in a little bit. It is not our intent to give away any plan information. If you are interested in building this boat, you need to get a hold of John Brooks and Brooks Designs and buy a set of plans. I think, including shipping, the plans ran me in the neighborhood of $220, $225, something like that. So considering all the money that will be spent building this boat, buy the plans. That said, I will also promote the plans because, especially compared to the Haven, and I'm going to try not to do that too much, but compared to the plans for the Haven, this is much more detailed. And I had gotten John's book, The Glued Lap Strake, How to Build a Wooden Boat. And he talks about several different glued lap strake models, but the technique is basically the same. And you can see some of this here. There's quite a bit of illustration in it, and I'm about halfway through it so far. So I'm liking this, and I think it's going to be a good help in conjunction with the plans. Now, I felt a little foolish because the other part of this, the key to the entire puzzle of the plans, and you'll see me look a little confused as I'm going through the plans here in just a few minutes, but because I actually videoed those clips the other night. I realized after being quite perplexed by some of it that I was missing 32 pages of specification. And John had sent this to me and the attachment simply didn't show up. But one of the things that I noticed in the plans was there would be different pieces and parts of the bolt, and then there'd be these little ovals that would say like H11. I was like, what in the heck's H11? Well, here is H11. It's about a mold, and there's just page after page after page of detailed description telling you basically an order of operations and specific written out instruction for how to make the pieces that will eventually put together for a whole boat. And one of the things John recommends is that we go ahead and make a few of the components and pieces for the boat even before we set up the building jig. Now that seems a little backwards to me, but I understand his thinking. A lot of people are going to be working in a garage or a tight space, and if we need to scarf together 2 8-foot sheets of plywood to wind up with 16 feet of planking, space can become a problem. You can't really see here. I'll spin the camera around. We don't have that problem in here. We have actually cleared out a lot of space, and the shop is really good size. So this is not going to be a problem for me, but I'm still going to take his advice. I may find that I get a little overexcited and decide that I really do need to set up the building jig, but I think part of the idea behind the building jig is that you want to get some of the molds and the backbone of the boat on there, and just make sure that it's all straight and that your building jig is the way you want it. So just looking forward to all that. We'll take a look at some of the actual plan pages. And like I said, this is not designed to give away the actual details of the plan, but I think you're going to be able to see just how detailed it all is. And it's certainly worth the money. He could charge twice as much and probably still sell the plans. But with the interaction that I've had with John, I get the feeling that he's just interested in seeing the next person take on the build, much like I am. And if you haven't watched us do an entire project, my motivation for doing detailed video in all of this is that I think that it helps create some additional resource for that next person that might want to try their hand at building either this boat or some other boat. Because quite honestly, a lot of the skills and the processes and pieces that you put together would easily, readily transfer from one design to another. So let's pull the plans out and look at those real quick, and this is going to be great. I'm so excited. So I hadn't had a chance to pull these out of here until today. One thing I noticed is they're stapled on this end, so I can kind of flip pages. Okay, so this first page is our sail plan, either a Marconi or a gaff rig. I'm likely gonna go with the gaff just because it's cool. Here is our lines plan. Like an overhead view, profile, and our forward and aft. So those are beautiful lines. We got a top view with the boat constructed, side view. Quite a bit of detail in here. Shows you where your frames all go, your deck frames. Less detail, which is a help, actually. This has little compartments that are under the seats. Here's some station drawings. So you got an idea of what your planking might look like. Your frames. This looks like station at 8 foot, looking forward. So you got your centerboard trunk. Oh, there's just an awful lot here. Transom looking aft. Yeah, so here's your traveler for your main sheet. And then this shows you your backbone layout and building jig. And that's going to be probably our first thing that we have to worry about. So this is going to take some careful study. We figure out how to set up a building jig. Planking panel layout. Oh, that's nice. You got to scarf your plywood together, and those look relatively straight, but then you got one here that's quite not straight. There's a lot of detail. A lot of detail. Lead keel. This is the keelson and keel layout here. Nice. transom support. Transom goes on there at about a 45-degree angle, I think. I got some drawings for your spars, your mast. I believe some of this is for hardware too. Interesting. The lead keel, this was a separate, you had to buy this separately. This tells you how to build your mold. So when we go to pour the keel. And my understanding is that this keel is identical to the Haven keel. But when we poured that one, we pretty much destroyed the mold. It was just made out of cheap pine. And okay, so that's interesting. Oh, I believe this tells you how to set up that's your diagonal brace. I believe this is where you make how you make your jig. Maybe. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Deadwood. Okay, that's interesting. Deadwood will go in after part of the boat on top of the lead keel. Yeah, you can see the keel here. Transom knee. Shows transom bevels. Okay, that's interesting. Stem profile. We're likely going to laminate this. When we did it on the Haven, we actually had some nice curved pieces of white oak. Interesting. Oh, this is nice. This is a combing knee. We didn't have that before. We just had to figure it out. There's a lot of detail with this. That's a good, no, sit. Stay there. That's a good boy, Toby. Good dog. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.